What's up, everybody? It's your boy Ali Al. Welcome back. I know it's been a long time. Been dealing with a lot of personal stuff, but I'm back. As you can see, the airwaves has been popping with LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith going back and forth. Of course, everybody's been following. This has been stemming from about, 2 weeks now? Maybe a week now? When pretty much LeBron stepped to Stephen A. Smith at the Lakers game. It was against the New York Knicks. And he basically told him, hey, keep my son out of this, da da da. Stephen A. responded, saying that he came to me as a father, understood where he was coming from. And then proceeds to go on the whole entire world tour and, talk about the whole situation, just deading it. And then yesterday, Pat McAfee dropped the interview. He had LeBron on his show. It was recorded the previous day. And he had him on for like about an hour and a half, and it was a great interview. We got to see a side of LeBron, and we got to see like vulnerable, talk about different things, etc. And of course, it was addressed the Stephen A. Smith situation, and LeBron proceeds like my man's on the Taylor Swift tour. We saw unhinged LeBron, who was unfiltered, and of course it pissed off the masses today on ESPN because he talked about how Stephen A. Smith is on a Taylor Swift essence of a tour right now. He just talking about the whole situation, talking about I didn't want to have to address this. LeBron called him out on it. He also called Brian Windhorst out as well too, which surprised a lot of people. And then Stephen A. responded yesterday on his show about it, calling LeBron a liar, this and that, talking about if LeBron would have slapped him, he would have swung on him, and everybody was like, cut it out, bro. And then Wade made it even more funnier. LeBron hit the game winner in Indiana yesterday after all that dropped, and then proceeds to troll Stephen A. Smith with the pad work video. And of course, this morning, Stephen A. Smith goes on a 15-minute, 17-minute tirade about LeBron James and how he's called him a liar, with everything like that, and this and da da da. But what I didn't like today, especially from Big PERK and Brian Windhorst, and to be honest, is this an aspiration I like to get into? Would I love to work for that network or someone that works? Yeah, sure, but I'm going to call it out what it is because at the end of the day, media has gotten too comfortable with disrespecting people. And when you get called out and it needs to be checked, it's a problem. So Stephen A. Smith, Kendrick Perkins, Brian Windhorst, all those involved, you probably will not see this if you do. Hi, I'm Aldrich Warner, future sports analyst. I'm calling y'all out. What y'all did today was classless and tasteless. Starting with Mr. Stephen A. Smith. The hell you bringing up Kobe Bryant for? Address the situation you and LeBron James. Keep it at that, right? But you proceeds to get even more personal, right? Proving the point. And in a way, it kind of shows the character that you have, in a way, right? Come and be direct. Just like you use on RG3's platform, I'm gonna call you out directly. What you mention Kobe Bryant's name for? And then posting propaganda talking about, oh, I ain't saying anything when you wasn't there. LeBron James wasn't in attendance. He just asked not to be put on camera, recorded. And then somebody happened to call you and tell you try to switch up, right? And then you're talking about the whole situation. Oh, you were in that D Wade's Hall of Fame induction, and that's a dude you consider a big brother, but and got you 2 championships when you wasn't there. Hey, dude, that's around the same time that Bronny had his heart attack situation, cardiac issue. And more than sure, D Wade knew about that and was like, hey, bro, worry about your kid. I'm cool. You forgot him and Bronny like this, right? But you proceed to go that low because you decide you want to take out the Shannon Sharp thing. Well, let's go. How I'm gonna go to the basement? That's low and tasteless. Which you do bringing up a dead man who has nothing with this conversation at all. And on top of that, mentioning somebody he has a relationship with when he had an issue with his son around that time. Grow the hell up, bro. You damn near 60. I'm gonna hold Brian accountable too, and they let it go. But I understand you responding. You 60, bro, and you wouldn't go that low. Tasteless. And you think social media was gonna react like that? There's people on, not that you care, but there's people on Twitter that don't like LeBron defending him say, what you did today was low and tasteless and classless. Kendrick Perkins. LeBron don't follow me, so I blocked him. Okay? Sounds like a personal problem, bro. But you want to go ahead and switch upside talking about telling Bron to shut up because his point was yet again proven today. How with the NBA, y'all so focused more on the drama, it's not covered the way the sport should be covered, and that's LeBron's point. Hence why he created Mind the Game with JJ Redick, and now is coming back with Steve Nash. By the way, great show. If you guys have not checked it out, please check it out. And for all my upcoming athletes, basketball players, tap in. You're gonna learn some things. This help you evolve the game of basketball to help make it in a way great again. LeBron talked about on the Pat McAfee show how the sport is more focused. People who cover the sport don't even actually talk about the sport. You just talk about the drama that's in it. And we all live for storytelling, but he's right. And then here come you, Mr. Kendrick Perkins, talking about, oh, LeBron needs to be quiet because he's going to control the way he wants to control. I have a tweet here, right, from a young man who I do not know, right? And his tag is, in this thing, it says, biased human rockets. Give me 1 second. Should be more prepared, right? I retweeted him. His name is Will, but his handle is at Bias Houston. He lives in Houston. He's a Rockets fan. And I quote, things ESPN could be discussing instead of Stephen A versus LeBron. The Rockets winning 10 of their last 11 games. The Celtics winning 7 games in a row. Ramifications of Damian Lillard's injury. Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers looking like contenders. The historic run around the Pacers are currently having. The defensive player of the defensive player of the year race heating up. What's next for the Sixers after a disappointing season? Literally any potential playoff matchups. And he said, this was just the top off my head. If it was my job to discuss the NBA every day, I would come up with more things. Yes, Stephen A, Kendrick Perkins. I'll do the exception with Wendy because Wendy actually touched on it and said that there is an imbalance with that. But the two brothers, right? Instead of understanding what he's saying, because the points went over y'all head. Shout out to my boy Josh. Y'all too busy going national TV tearing down on the black man. As much as y'all say, I want to see other brothers succeed, what are y'all doing? What y'all did today was 100%. And prove Bron's point about how the game is viewed in a negative light. Now, can you see some of it's on the players? Absolutely. But you guys, as a media, right, it's your job to cover and critique sports, right? Y'all are part of the problem. You prove Bron's point. It goes back to the standpoint where Anthony Edwards talked about how he didn't want to be the face of the league because the way how it's being talked about this and that, right? Bron chimes in and clarifies Anthony Edwards' point, like, I don't blame him. Y'all proceed to come on the next day and do exactly what Bron was talking about and prove his point, and yet turns around and prove it again what he mentioned on the Pat McAfee show. He playing chess, not checkers with y'all. Y'all legit proved his point. You're so tuned in because all today's show was about LeBron, and Stephen A's beef, right? And I get it, Stephen A is the face of ESPN, he is an entity. But you're going up against another entity who has been the face of the league for the past 3 decades. And you think that he's not going to have the backing or support from his fellow peers and also, other media entities? Because it's okay to say, hey, I'm wrong, I was out of line. What I said, I shouldn't have said it. It's that simple. But niggas got too much pride. And yes, I use the word niggas personally towards the both of y'all. Because you're acting like straight niggas. We got to stop this and be better because we talk about community, we talk about this and that. And we happen to talk about stuff why the black community the way it is because we tend to tear each other down. And Stephen A. Smith and Kendrick Perkins, mainly Stephen A. Smith, you, bro, look what you're doing. The thing that you're preaching that we need to stop, you're doing it. Listen, bro, you were wrong and out of line. And LeBron said so. End of the day, I'm never going to stop anybody for critiquing the game and do what they do as a job, right? But yes, national media has gotten comfortable with disrespecting people. You have. Did we not learn anything from the recent incident with Joel being a reporter? You're here talking about his availability for the game, this and that, right? But yet you proceed to bring up Joel Embiid's son and his dead brother? What the hell has that to do with sports? Right? You came on national TV and said LeBron as a father. Bump that as LeBron. You're going to see me say anything as a father. Guess what? In a way, it's a way of talking about someone's parenting. Dwayne Wade touched on it on Melo's podcast, 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. Others have talked about it in Gil's Arenas podcast. Lou Young on his podcast, I saw the clip this one was funny, called you out on it. Cut it out, bro. And y'all are part of the problem. See, here's the thing with national media, and that's why people, at this point, you prove the point, it's just about clicks, because you could be talking about the game and enlighten it even more, and you do this, right? You and LeBron have a beef, right? Stephen A. and LeBron have issues. They don't have a relationship, right? Instead of keeping about the situation, you proceed to bring up about the whole GOAT conversation. Don't nobody give no flying two fucks about the GOAT conversation, bro. That's got nothing to do with that. That's just your personal battle. And it's to the point, you even publicly admitted that you never liked LeBron James. From the jump. Didn't realize you walked into that trap. Funny how that happens, right? And you proceed to talk about, oh, the GOAT this, Michael Jordan had this amount of titles, this amount of scoring titles. And everybody's looking at you like, I even saw Molly's face. What does that have to do with anything with you and LeBron's beef? If you don't consider him the GOAT, that's fine. I could think he cares less about that. You have personal vendetta against this man. You do. And you got called about it because it was another face. And because you're the face of sports media entity and the big dog in the NBA who's been the face for 3 decades called you out on it, it sent a message to all the lower tier and up-and-comers. Because let's be real, a lot of these former athletes, other people who've been talking stuff, this and that, once they saw you got checked, they were like, oh shit, I'm going to tread lightly. I'm still going to talk my shit, but I'm going to tread lightly because LeBron came after the big dog. And everybody knows in any scenario, you challenge the leader of the pack and you go back down, you actually put up a fight. It worries it worries the masses. Because now we're witnessing like, oh. See, Bron didn't start from the bottom, worked his way up. He started from the very top. Ever since he addressed that situation with Bronny, I don't see a lot of y'all talking ish on Bronny anymore. Not only that, Bronny's level of play in the G League has skyrocketed, averaging 20 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds a game, right? Just dropped 39 the other night. Been consistent in the G League. Y'all said he wasn't even worthy. Had his first career high in the NBA game against the Milwaukee Bucks. Started, dropped 17, 3 and 5. 8 of 10 shooting. 2 of 4 from 3. And here come everybody. Clear you, Mr. Smith. I was wrong. I will give you this. When you are wrong about something, you do come on the air. If you do something publicly, you do admit it. I will give you that because you have been consistent with that. But how you act today like a damn child and you 57 years old, about to be 60 and big PERK, don't nobody care you about LeBron, bro. We really don't. Because all the stuff y'all did, y'all friends and y'all people that y'all work with even looked at y'all sideways this morning. Jay Will even commented about how LeBron, you got to stop this, complaining that you just want to control the narrative, but yet he posted a clip about when Michael Jordan talked about the same situation, but yet we hear crickets, right? It's only because it's LeBron James, because he's keeping a lot of y'all employed. Stephen A., you're an exclusion because you worked your way, you the top dog for a reason. But a lot of y'all who's on the network, other networks, got your own media platforms, that man's keeping y'all employed because when you talk about LeBron James, it gives you clicks. Y'all can't talk about anything because y'all have no originality. Hence why sports media and sports is dying. because y'all not providing and talking about the game what we talk about. When we tune into sports, we want to hear y'all talk about topics. Everything I stated that Bias Houston talked about, Celtics 7-game win streak, Rockets winning 10 out of 11, what's going on and everything like that. There's your storytelling right there. We started the year about how the NBA has been lacking storytelling because of this. But yet we are so focused on the drama because negativity sells. But yet we go on our own public platforms and media networks talk about how we need to be more positive negativity, but yet do the complete opposite. And it's coming from two brothers, maybe one. Your good friend and your counterpart, Shannon Sharp, along with Ocho last night on Nightcap, pleaded with you to just stop the madness. Because in the day, bro, you should have just addressed it and left it the way it was and moved on, but you carried it on. Hey man, I want to say, but I just found it funny how instead of thing y'all push these other narratives, especially when LeBron talked about how him and Jordan's relationship right now, really don't speak because I'm still playing. Everybody knows Jordan's overly competitive, right? And it's only like that with players. We could be good friends, this and that, but we don't talk much because don't mind my dog, right? And people really don't talk, but we keep it friendly. He said for him and Kobe didn't have a relationship until the Olympics, and that's still been. It's still they had a friendship, but it's been competitive. And until Kobe retired and he became a Laker, he was like, "Yo, bro, I got you anything you need, right?" So you don't bring up Kobe so much, and then you got Wendy talking about, "I don't think it's not a friendship. Oh, they don't have it, and I think that's had to do with LeBron, this and that. It had nothing to do with LeBron. It's competitiveness. They both dogs." Both arguably, they're both on Mount Rushmore. Some got Jordan, some people got Bron. And at the end of the day, like me and my boy Sean talked about, what considers you the GOAT? Because you're going by rings, technically Bill Russell's the GOAT. He won 11. 2 as a coach, 10 as a, 2 as a coach, 9 as a player. If we're going by rings, wouldn't that make Steve Kerr the GOAT? Won 4 chips as a player and won 3 as a coach. Let's talk about it. So what clarifies you to be the GOAT? You won't go by accolades and records and stuff. LeBron surpassed half of them. Not only that, he broke the NBA's all-time leading scorer. Who others have as a GOAT? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That was unbreakable for many years. By the way, Michael Jordan was third on that list and he didn't break it, right? LeBron broke it. And on top of that, that record's not been broken for a while because he's continuing and the number is stacking, and climbing. So, these narratives that y'all did today was hilarious. And Stephen A. talking about once you retire, you see how much I talk about you. Let's be real, bro. As great as you are, LeBron pays a lot of y'all bills. Because let's be real, once LeBron retires, y'all having a whole debate on how y'all talk about who's the next face of the league of the NBA. We not sure. We talk about Jason Tatum and John Morant, but y'all not confident. You say, yeah, it's still LeBron. Once Steph and LeBron hang it up, who y'all really have to talk about? Who's your next face? We hear it complaining about it can't be a European player because it's an American game, which is true. But like Anthony Edwards said, ain't that the reason why they went and got Wemby? It's sad because the own American players don't be the face of the league because of what y'all did in the media today, and everything LeBron talked about in the interview yesterday just proves a lot of points. And it was a great interview by Pat McAfee. Shout out to you, brother, man. Appreciate everything that you do. That was a great interview. And LeBron, shout out to you for just letting us see a side we don't see because in the day you have been a model citizen and everything like that. Not saying like things that you do everyone agrees with, you know what I'm saying, but everything that you have done so far, you kept your nose clean, positive role model, great father, great husband, great basketball player, the GOAT. And it's just sad that, and it's sad that negativity sells because when it comes to athletes, everybody's so quick to. But because you have nothing people really can talk about, they create shit. And of course, that leads to American players not be the faces of the league. That's my thoughts on that. And I'll do another video regarding how sports media and sports and them stepping out of the line. But thank you guys for tuning in to this Sports Talk with Aldrich Warner. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend of a friend. Peace.